And another series I'm working on is, I'm calling it the Year of Presidents. This one a much longer series. I have painted all the candidates, and those I'm kind of repainting as they do things to inspire me, anger me, make me happy, make me sad, and also painting one painting for each of the seated presidents through history. And I'm doing them in order, so I could both learn my presidential history and not take the easy road out and paint all the obvious solutions to the presidents first. I'm going in order. So I think I'm up to president number 9 right now. This one is about James and Dolly Madison. So in my research about the presidents, I learned that James Madison was only 5'4" and 100 pounds. I'm 5'4". He was little. I'm well over 100 pounds. So he was the littlest president ever. So, and Dolly Madison was not this much bigger than him, but visually I wanted to put her seated to show his height. But Dolly Madison was known as basically, I'm using a modern term for what she was. She was the hostess with the mostest. She was always throwing parties. And she was the first lady to serve ice cream at the White House. So my paintings, there's usually 10 different ideas that went into it. I don't have them all figured out in the beginning. I'll start a painting with the seed of an idea, and they change in the many hours it takes to create one. Other ideas will filter in. So those are the 2 main big projects I'm working on right now. And coming up this year, I'll be traveling to China in July. And that's another thing I try to keep with my art, is getting out of the country, getting, even if not out of the country, even to other states. Anywhere you go outside your everyday life, even if it's to a different neighborhood you've never been in DC. Going down to that basic, everything inspires me. It's a new viewpoint on something. It's a new interaction with someone I wouldn't have otherwise met. So the extreme travel this year, going to China for 3 weeks, I'll be painting there. And when I come back, I have a solo show that's going to be called Made in China in August to show all the work I did while I was there. So I'll kind of leave it at that. There's many other things I probably wrote here that I never even looked down to see. But I'll kind of open it up for questions if that's okay, and see.
Show your library cards.
Oh, forgot about those. Yes. These are 2 little examples. How many years ago did I start this? Probably 2 or 3 years since they started to do away with the card catalogs here at the library. And I'm an often library patron, so I was in here one day and see these boxes of old card catalog cards sitting in the lobby with all the big wooden card catalog cases. And I asked someone, what are you doing with all those? They said, oh, we're just throwing them out. And I thought they're great little pieces of paper. I'm sure they're acid-free, good paper, since they've had to hold up over time at the library. So Matt and I went out back dumpster diving and found piles and piles of library cards and started both drawing on them and painting on them. After that, I decided to ask a lovely librarian if they could perhaps next time they go and dump a bunch of cards, if they could save them for me and save me from going in the dumpster again. So I have a lot of these at home, and a lot of them are from now the library division, which is great. So when I started doing them, I started to actually draw on them something relevant to the card it was from. Like if it said, this is a card about Frida Kahlo, I would paint about it. It got to be a little tedious because I have about 400 cards that just say music. So that got a little bit much of a problem-solving issue at that point. So these are just little drawings that I've done in the library cards, and it's just an ongoing, I won't call it a series, but an ongoing project whenever I want to do a little drawing. I like doing them. I love just the little hole that's in them, and just my love of libraries. So that is the last of the thing that's on display. Oh, thank you.